Tooth Scary, written by Craig Bissett, illustrated by Ana Hidalgo de la Vega. Warning to all readers. If you have a wobbly tooth, then careful you should be. I hear that mean Tooth Scary's near as can be. This is Tooth Fairy. You've probably never seen her as she comes when you're asleep, but this is what she looks like should you ever get a peep. Her wings they sparkle silver, she wears a bright blue gown, placed upon her head she wears a truly great tooth crown. This is Tooth Scary. You've probably never seen her as she comes when you're asleep, but this is what she looks like should you ever get a peep. Her wand is made from candy cane, her shoes have strawberry laces. All her clothes are made from sweets, her wings leave sugary traces. Deep into the dark black night, when your room is free from light, Tooth Fairy flutters to your bed, where on a tooth you lay your head. She hardly makes a single sound, she barely leaves a trace. She takes the tooth from under you, leaving money in its place. Deep into the dark black night, when your room is free from light, Tooth Scary swoops down to your bed, where on tooth money you lay your head. She steals the coin from under you, she barely makes a sound. She leaves a pile of sweets and treats, in the morning they'll be found. To leave sweets under your pillow, you may think awfully nice, but scoffing sweets in vast amounts comes with an awful price. Teeth begin to rot, decay, and from your mouth fall out. Tooth Fairy will leave money, of that I have no doubt. That money will be taken though when Tooth Scary comes, and she'll leave another pile of sweets to rot your teeth and gums. Things were working out just as mean Tooth Scary planned. Teeth began to quickly fall out all across the land. With every tooth that fell out, the richer she became. With every tooth that fell out, no one knew she was to blame. Tooth Fairy started to notice her job was getting tough. Every night she finished work, left her breathless, out of puff. Why are there so many teeth to collect now in one night? And compared to teeth I used to collect, they're not as pearly white. Teeth are not as nice now, investigate I must. To keep paying out for horrid teeth, I surely will go bust. Now not many people know it, so keep it secret if I tell. But there are people just like you and me who know Tooth Fairy well. They are the fairy's helpers, kind of like a tooth apprentice. Keeping teeth strong, white and clean, you'll know them as the dentist. So Tooth Fairy called on dentists from all across the land to see if they could meet her and lend a helping hand. The dentists quickly packed their bags and set off in a race to make plans with Tooth Fairy in a secret meeting place. Tooth Fairy's notes. Plan 1. Find out what is causing all this tooth decay. Plan 2. Put a stop to it and help save the day. Tooth Fairy and the dentist didn't know what they should do. They talked and talked for hours, but they didn't have a clue. Until the chief dentist bravely stood and said, "This may seem odd, but when I woke, there were sweets under my head." Tooth Fairy asked the dentist, "Whatever do you mean? Who would leave sweets there? The idea is just obscene." "I thought it was you," Chief Dentist said with a puzzled look. "I thought that you had left them there for the tooth you came and took." "Leave sweets?" proclaimed Tooth Fairy. "I did nothing of the sort. Someone's up to wicked tricks, and we must have them caught." "Here's what we'll do," said Tooth Fairy as she told them her idea. The dentist thought her plan was great and gave a mighty cheer. The meeting was now over. The dentists all left in a dash. Tooth Fairy left as well to collect a massive bag of cash. It was night now and Chief Dentist was ready for his bed. But before slipping between the sheets, he laid a tooth under his head. It took hours for Dentist to finally sleep. He was a very excited man. You see, he was helping Tooth Fairy with her very clever plan. It was now deep into the dark black night. Chief Dentist's room was free from light. Tooth Fairy fluttered to his bed, where above the tooth he laid his head. She took the tooth from under him, barely making any sound. She left the huge bag of cash in the hope it would be found. The bag of money was so huge, the pillow stood up in the air, but the Dentist didn't waken, he didn't move a hair. Tooth Fairy didn't leave now, as she normally would do. Instead she hid under the bed and waited for her cue. Minutes passed, then suddenly Tooth Scary did appear. She swooped down to the bag of cash and grinned from ear to ear. She just couldn't believe it. I've hit the jackpot, Tooth Scary thought. Little did Tooth Scary know, she was just about to be caught. As Tooth Scary heaved the money from under Dentist's head, Tooth Fairy silently sneaked up from underneath the bed. She tied Tooth Scary's strawberry laces tightly shoe to shoe. Tooth Scary didn't notice, she didn't have a clue. Tooth Scary went to leap away with the money in her hand, but things didn't go quite as well as mean Tooth Scary planned. Her laces caught, she tripped and fell, the money all tipped out as well. She landed clumsily on the floor, and on top of her the coins did pour. As the money piled on her high, Tooth Scary let out a deafening cry. Help me, she did scream, and this woke Dentist from his dream. Tooth Fairy yelled, she's caught at last! Her days of stealing cash are past. She'll no longer leave sweets, hip hip hooray! That should stop the tooth decay. Dentist was so happy, he cheered, bravo, bravo! But who is it that we have caught? Is it someone that we know? From under the coins a voice came, it's Tooth Scary, let me go! Tooth Fairy replied calmly, the answer is a no. Unless you make a promise to stop your evil deeds. All right, I'll stop, now let me out, a scared Tooth Scary pleads. The Dentist and Tooth Fairy lifted coins to let her go, and when Tooth Scary became free, she escaped through the window. The Dentist and Tooth Fairy celebrated all night long. They were sure that once again, people's teeth would become strong. Tooth Scary's plan was foiled this time, but beware, she still lurks about, thinking of new schemes to make your teeth fall out.